Smash Mouth Sports. I'm your host, Preston Bailey, soon to be the commish of the NBA. With me is Cam Vieira. Cam, I'm going to go to you right out of the gate. You seem a little angry. You don't think I should be the commissioner of the NBA. You're skeptical that I am qualified to be the commissioner of the NBA. Is that what you're saying? Well, I'm putting my name in the hat. I'm putting my hat in the ring.
All right, go ahead. Put your hat in the ring, man. I think you can do it. Let's see it.
Good. I was gonna hire you as the VP commish, but since you're not as supportive as I thought you'd be, we may have to have a conversation online, bare knuckle, old-fashioned fight. But here we go. You ready?
Yes.
The problem with the NBA, and I'm going to start with the way the season ended last year. I understand we had the COVID problem, we had the bubble, we had a lot of problems. But the biggest problem the NBA has, it's not the bubble, it's not COVID, it's all of the extra. All of the extra. I understand Joe Biden's coming in. Just because Joe Biden's coming in January 20th, 2021, that doesn't mean because Donald Trump's gone, the NBA is just going to flourish. And those 71% of the fans that turned out are going to come back. They're not. I'm telling the NBA, as the new commissioner, guys, I understand we've tabled a lot of the messaging and the branding and so forth. LeBron James, as the leader of the NBA, you have upset 71% of your fan base.
Correct.
Period. Do we agree with that, Cam?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the finals ratings were terrible.
The ratings were horrendous. Horrendous. And you had LeBron James. I'm telling you, I'm getting tweets and
against his former team.
Nobody cares about the NBA this year. Here is the problem. This is our preseason show, and our preseason show is if I was the commissioner of the NBA, what I would do to improve the NBA. The first thing I would do is I would fire David Silver. I would say, you're done, buddy. You're done. Okay? Because all he does
is a piece of the players.
Is whatever the players want, let's make the players happy. That is not how you run a company.
You can't let the inmates run the asylum.
That's not how you run a company. If I have a company and I say, okay, guys, what do we want to do? We're a construction company. Okay, guys, who wants to wake up at 6 a.m. and start laying brick? I don't want to lay brick. You lay brick.
All right, cool.
Oh, okay, great, guys. We're building this great commercial building, downtown building. Oh, none of my guys, nobody wants to lay brick? Okay.
Yeah, go home, crack open a few beers.
Go home, crack open the beers, get the pizza going at 10 in the morning, at noon. Nobody wants to dig the ditches. Nobody wants to lay the cement. Nobody wants to pour the stuff, mix it up. Nobody wants to work, okay? Listen, part of being the boss, it doesn't mean you have to be a jerk, but you got to say, no, guys, let's tone it down.
And he's done that this year, thankfully.
Look, Silver has turned it. He toned it down not because he wanted to tone it down. David Silver's toned it down because the rest of the owners of the league said, "Mr. Silver, tone it down, buddy." Because you look, this is America.
He works for the owners, right?
He works for the owners. This is America, Jack. What LeBron and Kyrie and all the guys are saying. If you're getting $40 or $50 million a year, it doesn't matter what the issue is, even if it's a great issue. People don't want to hear people making $40, $50 million complaining, telling me what we should do. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. All I want to tune in for 2 hours and be entertained. LeBron James take a pass coast to coast, get a rebound, slam dunk to Anthony Davis, so on and so forth. And I'm telling you right now, the NBA is going to suffer this year unless they do drastic steps. Here are the steps. You can agree, you can disagree. Here are the things that I would do. For those that don't remember, the Mr. Stern, David Stern, the former commissioner of the NBA, correct, Cam?
Yes.
For those that are too young to remember, but in the early 2000s and mid-2000s, the NBA had a massive image problem. Massive.
Started with Allen Iverson, correct.
It started with Allen Iverson. Too many guys were coming in with cornrows and not wearing suits. They were all over the place. So you know what he did to clean up the NBA? You could like it or not. This was before social media. So it was pre-2008. but they said you got to wear a suit and tie, and players were complaining. I remember a guy specifically, like Latrell Sprewell, who has since had money problems, was making over $15 million a year, and he said, how can I support my family on $15 million? Tone deaf, okay?
Wow.
And some of the guys were complaining, well, I don't have enough money for suits. Look, I don't care if you buy a $10,000 suit or not. I don't care if you go to JCPenney's or Sears and get a suit off the rack for $100 or $200. Buy 5 suits for $500, okay? I don't care but I'm telling you, here are the rules to clean up the NBA. You ready?
Yes.
Whatever cause you have, okay? They need to have, like the NFL does, they've got the my cause, my cleats, okay?
Correct.
You could do a thing which says once every 10 games.
My cause, my shoes.
My cause, my shoes, my cause, my cleats, my cause, my whatever it is. Not every game, okay? So on certain games, you do my clause, my shoes, my clause, whatever. Okay, so that's number one. Have it a designated time. So let's just say Friday night to begin. So Friday night, let's say once a month. Once a month is my cause, my shoes.
My shoes.
Okay, narrow it down. I understand.
It's important to you. Yes.
It's important to you. I understand that. Great. The fans have told you they don't care. Whatever the cause is, they're not tuning in.
We're not here to see a political statement.
You are not a non-for-profit entity. I know that's gotten low. When you make 30,
and you're not
40,
political figures.
When you make $30 or $40 million a year, or even millions of dollars a year, you're out of touch with the everyday person. Your guy that's laying brick, okay, our analogy earlier, your guy that's laying brick, he comes home after a hard day of work, cracks open a couple beers and some pizza, okay? He doesn't want to hear all the things that are going on. So that's number one. Limit the brazenness of political issues. That's number one. Number two, back to what Mr. Stern said, the image. Excuse me, the image, everybody's got to wear a suit, okay? And not these AC/DC, Boy George, weird suits that are short
You're not going to
suits.
dress like Cam Newton, right?
That is weird, okay? Get rid of that, okay? Now, here is the exception to this. The exception to this rule, everybody wears a suit, okay? If you've won an NBA title, you have flexibility. You don't have to wear a tie. You wear a jacket, you wear a long sleeve nice shirt, and you wear nice dress pants, regular clothes, and you don't have to wear a tie if you won an NBA title. So what does that mean? Guys specifically, like Russell Westbrook, who also have a problem with clothing. They wear the wildest clothes, pink and green. It is embarrassing. It looks horrific, okay? You don't need more attention. You already have attention. You're an NBA player on national TV, okay? Now, granted, you're getting 71% less attention than you did a year ago because of all the shenanigans, okay? So that's another rule. So the flexibility of that is if you've won an NBA title, LeBron, whoever, we can be flexible with, you don't have to wear a tie. But in the short term, the NBA has a huge image problem. They have weighed in way too deep on these issues. That's what they don't realize. Okay? Go ahead, Cam.
You're right. It was overkill. And we understand.
Much. Go ahead. Don't get too deep. Don't get too deep, but go ahead.
We won't. We understand that these are important issues to LeBron, Kawhi, Paul George, all these guys. Because the first notable game in the bubble was Lakers-Clippers. That's why I use those guys. We get that it's important to you. And we're not telling you it's not an issue. It is an issue. But that's not why people tune into sports.
You're right.
People tune into sports to get away from that.
You're right. Let me interrupt you, but Mr. Construction, I'm going to use him as an analogy. Okay, you want Joe construction worker, Joe the plumber, you want average Joes watching your product. Okay, when the guys are at the site, man, Jim, did you see that game by LeBron James last night? Okay, that's what you want. Okay, these conversations, people arguing and so on and so forth, you want the fun debates. You want to get back to Jordan versus LeBron. Okay, but what's changed now the conversation on TV, the talking heads are, well, Jordan is not woke enough, so he can't be better than
Right, because the
LeBron James.
Republicans buy shoes too.
Because Republicans buy shoes too. That's what this has turned into. It's taken a weird turn. Look, I'm letting the NBA players know, the media, and by the media I mean the mainstream media, ESPN, and the talking heads, they don't care. They could care less if the NBA goes out of business. They could care less. ESPN, now they would lose. They might care because they'd lose a lot of. They've already losing a lot of money with the NBA.
TNT, correct.
And TNT and the other guys that have paid hundreds of millions of dollars would care. But I'm telling you, you're hurting future revenue. What's going to happen if you continue? The NBA continues in this way. Look at the UFC. What does that mean? The UFC gets roughly about 20% of the revenue. And I'm telling you right now, the NBA gets 50. So your guy that gets $10 million a year, if these ratings continue to plummet. Now, you're going to say, oh, Preston, I don't agree with you. I don't care if you agree with me or not. I'm telling you facts. Your salaries are already downtrending because of COVID and other factors. I'm telling you, you're going to have less games because the players are more sensitive. That's another problem. Okay, we haven't even addressed that in the main issue. That's another problem. Okay, get rid of this publicizing sitting out games.
Load management.
Load management. Get rid of it. Look, I get it. Back to back and all this. I get it. Okay, from a human to human, I get it. You want to, I get, but don't publicize it. Stop making it such a big deal. Okay, I'm not
faking injury.
I'm not saying fake an injury, but you know it looks bad when there's 82 games and every year Kawhi Leonard plays 61. I'm sorry. I know LeBron James is the ultimate warrior, plays most of the games, but these other guys, we've got to knock it off with this load management. I'm sorry. Your guy at the dock, okay, your guy at the site, this guy is busting his tail. This guy's busting his tail to make 30, 40 grand a year, grinding it out, 50 grand if he's lucky, okay? 5 a.m., 6 a.m. He doesn't get load management. He doesn't get to say, oh, boss, you know, boss, I know it's hot. I know it's 110 degrees, boss. I'm just going to smoke cigars and drink a couple cold ones while you and the rest of the guys go to work. That's what it's about. This is the disconnect. I understand it's a grind, and I understand you get tired and you get accustomed to private planes and private jets. Look.
That was another thing. You remember when they first showed up to the bubble? They were calling the hotels. Now, you're in Florida. I'm in Massachusetts. You've stayed at the hotels at Disney World.
Stayed at those hotels. They're $400 to $500 a night and up. They're nice hotels.
They're amazing, correct?
Correct.
And you get guys like Rajon Rondo saying that it was like a Motel 6.
Yeah, it's tone deaf. Guys, look, honesty is great. If you guys have a podcast and you want to get hot takes after your career's over, and you want to write all this down, you want to write a book, great. But I'm telling you, the NBA is you're whether you like it or not, you've been branded a group of latte liberals. Oh, my $15 chai tea and coffee is a little off. It doesn't have sprig of nutmeg in there. That's how you guys sound. That's how you sound. Okay, when you've got Jimmy Butler selling $25 coffees, look, it's a joke, guys. Let's get rid of the shenanigans. You're the greatest athletes on the planet. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on the positives. And I'm telling you, the last thing, and I'll save the best thing for last. It sounds simple. It sounds really simple. But this would go a long way with the fans. Say, we were strong last year with social justice. Here's what we're going to do. You ready, Cam? You with me? I'm going to take off my hat and show you my terrible hair. You ready?
Let's hear it.
Okay. Put your hand over your heart. Okay, put your hand over your heart. I'm not saying you specifically. I'm saying you don't have to do it now, but I'm saying stand there for the Pledge of Allegiance for 2.5 minutes with your hand over your heart and just simply say, and after the interview, just say, look, we love America, guys. We believe in social justice. We want everybody to come together. We want everybody to share in the American dream and to work together. That's it. That's it. That's all fans want to hear. But we become split down into politics and all these other shenanigans that it's gone down the wrong road. I'm telling the NBA, you've got a branding problem. I don't care if everybody disagrees. I don't care if this video gets 100,000 dislikes. I'm telling you the facts. You can accept the facts and acknowledge those facts, or you can move on. Period. Fans feel, and I'm not even going to get into China. because that's I'm not even going to get into that, but that's a whole nother video. Okay, so like and subscribe to this channel really quick, Cam. Don't get this in the ditch here. If it's a high level thing, go ahead.
What's the point of sports? To unite us. Sports is the ultimate uniter.
It's supposed to entertain,
but it's supposed to bring people together. After September 11th, where did we make our biggest statements? At sporting events.
Right.
George Bush throwing the first pitch at Yankee Stadium. It's supposed to bring people together, not drive us apart.
The goal is to come together. And I'm telling you right now, as the NBA commissioner, that's what I would do. There needs to be some structure. And the last thing I'll say before you like and subscribe, just look at the Clippers. The Clippers are being investigated because of Kawhi Leonard. Steve Ballmer said, I'm going to bend over backwards for Kawhi Leonard. I want to make Kawhi Leonard happy. I want to win an NBA title. I want to bring a title to LA Clippers, because LA did win the title last year. And he's doing everything he can, but he bent over backwards too far for Kawhi. Now Kawhi's uncle and his best friend, money laundering, all kinds of shenanigans there. So just keep that in mind. Like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks again.